Let us pray. Almighty God, we bow down before thee in humble obedience and dependence. We pray thee, grant us the grace to respect each other this day in all our consultations, that our deliberations today shall take place in the spirit of mutual trust, so that we as leaders shall lead our country on the path of peace and shall find solutions for issues and problems facing us. Grant us the mercy, O Lord, that we shall today also honor thy name in all we think, do, and say. Almighty God, we pray thee, bless our land and all its people. This all we pray in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Affirmation. I solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of Namibia and its people, and I solemnly promise to uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Namibia to the best of my ability. Announcements. Announcements. In terms of Rule 14, Sub 1 of the committee rules, the Standing Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs and Petitions has elected Honorable Kuhamba Shifeta as the chairperson, replacing Honorable Modestus Amtse, who was recently appointed to the executive. I now declare Honorable Shifeta as a duly elected chairperson of the Standing Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs and Petitions. Any messages from the head of state? Any petitions? Reports of standing or select committees? Other reports and papers? Honorable Shafuda, Minister of Finance.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I lay upon the table in terms of Rule 222 of the Standing Rules and Orders, reports of the Auditor General on the accounts of the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development for the financial year ended 31st March 2025.
Yes, Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you so much. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I lay upon the table in terms of Rule 222 of the Standing Rules and Orders, reports of the Auditor General on the accounts of the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development for the financial year ended 31st March 2025, Office of the Judiciary for the financial year ended 31st March 2025, Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Vote 31, Department of Veteran Affairs for the financial year ended 31st March 2025, Municipality of Omaruru for the financial years ended 30 June 2023 and 2024, Regional Council of the Wangwena Region for the financial years ended 31st March 2023 and 2024, Town Council of Karasberg for the financial year ended 30 June 2021, 2022 and 2023, Village Council of Arab for the financial years ended 30 June 2020, 2021 and 2022, Namibia Central Intelligence Service for the financial year ended 31st March 2025, and National Arts Council of Namibia for the financial year ended 31st March 2024. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Please table the report, Honorable Minister. Honorable Ndingara.
Honorable Speaker, I move. I move.
No, sit down.
Honorable Ndingara.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I move, like you say, other papers. On a point of other papers.
Other reports and papers.
So I can continue.
Yes, other reports and papers.
Yes, this one is the paper. Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, fellow Namibians, I rise today with a deep sense of humility, gratitude, and fulfillment as I take leave of this august house. My journey to this National Assembly did not begin here. It began many years ago at Mayara village of Kavango East region, where I was born, raised, and shaped by a community grounded in hard work, solidarity, kindness, and service to others. It began in the classrooms and rural villages. As a cattle header in trade union meetings, in political mobilization, and in the daily struggle of ordinary Namibians who demanded dignity, equality, and justice. Those early experiences shaped my lifelong commitment to the SWAP Party, to the workers, to the rural communities, and to public service. After independence, I dedicated myself fully to nation building. I served our country in various capacities within the public service, starting at junior level and steadily rising through ranks. I worked in education administration, in agriculture, especially rural water supply, regional and local government, and human resource management across several ministries. from drilling water boreholes in the Kavango region to advancing decentralization, my guiding principle was simple. Government must serve the people, not the other way around. I was privileged to contribute to the development of human resource systems, decentralization frameworks, training programs, and governance manuals that continue to guide public administration today. I also had the honor of lecturing young Namibians at the International University of Management, where I shared knowledge and in return learned from a new generation of thinkers. My service to the working class through the Namibian Public Workers Union, NAPVU, and the NNW, the National Union of Namibian Workers, remain one of the proudest chapters of my life. Together, we advanced fair labor practices, collective bargaining, and the protection of workers' rights, guided by our firm beliefs that political freedom and economic freedom is inseparable. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, serving as a member of Parliament across multiple terms has been the highest honor of my public life. In this House, I contributed to constitutional matters, and I want to say that I was fortunate to come at that time to see how the Constitution is amended. I was present when the Constitution was amended 3 times. So I'm proud of that. I know that some members of Parliament did not experience that yet, but it is still coming. I contributed to legal matters, legal reforms, human resource development, community advancement, and parliamentary strengthening, both nationally and regionally through the SADC Parliamentary Forum and other international platforms. I am particularly proud of contributing to parliamentary institutional development at regional level, including the formulation of first human resource, administrative, and financial rules and procedures for the SADC Parliamentary Forum. Work that strengthens accountability, transparency, and professionalism within the regional parliamentary system. I also had the privilege to represent Namibia on international parliamentary missions and election observation delegations across SADC regions and beyond. I remain deeply grateful to late Theoben Gurirap, who served as Speaker during the formative period of my parliamentary service. May his gentle soul rest in eternal peace. Dr. Gurirap was one of Namibia's most respected statesmen and towering figure in the liberation struggle and post-independence diplomacy. Chief architect of Namibia's diplomatic success, a powerful advocate for African self-determination, and a disciplined, principled leader who valued multilateralism and international law. To me, he was not only a national leader, but he also my personal friend and a generous mentor. So I can remember him very well. And one day in Mozambique, in Maputo, when he invited me to his room and said, Comrade Dingara, I will do to you what Noyoma used to do to us. By delegating you and sending you to international arenas alone to learn. It's a man. It's a statement. It's a statement. These experiences strengthened my belief that Namibia stands tall among nations anchored in democracy, peace, and respect to the rule of law. If history is to remember my contribution in this house, it may remember one bold intervention, in particular, the $1 million for each and every Namibian. This was not a slogan. It was not a political theater. It was a structured socio-economic proposal grounded in economic principles, demographic realities, and the agency of our time. The formula recognized a fundamental truth. Namibia is rich, yet many Namibians remain poor. God is very disappointed in us. With a projected population of approximately or just over 3 million, the proposal envisioned a structured and phased conversion of national wealth valued at approximately 3 trillion Namibian dollar into citizens' health value through carefully designed mechanisms balancing lifelong monthly income security from annuity-based system, asset creation and upgrading, including housing and medical freedom, social protection, measurement that preserve dignity in life and in death, and structured support for immediate citizen needs. This proposal never advocated reckless cash distribution. It acknowledged inflationary risks, macroeconomic stability, and the law of supply and demand. It proposed controlled release mechanism, strong oversight, and sustainable administration to protect economic balance. Its central premise was simple, yet profound. If we convert the value of our natural resources into citizen health wealth before those resources lose relevance in a rapidly evolving technological world, we secure prosperity beyond mineral. The world is changing. Artificial intelligence, renewable energy transitions, and synthetic material may one day reduce global demand for certain minerals. If we delay transformation, future generations may inherit depleted grounds and unfulfilled. But if we act with foresight, converting natural wealth into human capital and structured citizen asset, then even when minerals are exhausted, the value will remain in Namibian hands. The difficult question raised, where will the money come from? Where will you get what? Were not weaknesses of the motion. They were invitation to refine, strengthen, and build consensus. Parliament is not merely a chamber for safe thinking. It is a forum where bold ideas must be tested responsibly, because without courageous thinking, nations stagnate. Honorable Speaker, I'm near conclusion, and this could be my last time to speak. And those who don't know, they can behave the way that they want to behave, because they don't know what is happening. It's fine. As I leave this august house, I do not claim imperfection. I have been firm, at times uncompromising, perhaps uncomfortable to some, but I have always acted in good faith and in loyal to the people who entrusted me with this responsibility. Public service does not end in a parliamentary seat. I am not leaving because I am done serving the people. I am leaving because I believe service can take many forms. I now choose to serve from a different angle, to test the ground and demonstrate that political leaders also can be productive economic actors. One of Namibia's key priority sector under NDP 6 and the national development strategies is agriculture and agro-processing. This sector is central to strengthening agricultural value chain, increasing productivity, enhancing national food security, and advancing agro-industrialization. As one wise said, agriculture is to agree with culture.
Say it again. Say it again.
I have chosen to contribute directly to this vital sector. Through agriculture, I intend to demonstrate practical nation building, creating value, supporting food security, and contributing to economic transformation beyond political debate. To those who remain, I say, govern with courage. To those who will follow us, think beyond tradition. To the people of Namibia, never stop demanding a fair share of the wealth of your land. Allow me to express my sincere gratitude to the Speaker and the leadership of this august House for their guidance and fairness, my fellow honorable members across party lines for robust debate and mutual respect, the SWAPO party for its trust, guidance, and lifelong comradeship, and most importantly, my wife Magdalena Dingara, and my children, and all the other families and the people of Mayara, who carried the weight of sacrifices so that I could serve. I leave active parliamentary service without regret and without bitterness. I gave my strength, my conviction, and my best years of life to the service of Namibia. I remain a committed cadre of the SWAPO party, a servant of the people, and a nationalist, always ready to contribute where experience and wisdom are needed. Honorable Speaker, Leadership is not about holding office indefinitely. It is about knowing when to pass the baton with dignity and confidence in the next generation. I have full faith in those who will continue deepening democracy, advancing development, and safeguarding the value for which many have sacrificed. At the end of this month, which means by Saturday, this year, February 2026, I will leave this august house proud of my country, proud of this parliament, and proud to have served. May God bless this National Assembly. May God bless all political parties, like Honorable Lukato used to say, and their leaders. And may God bless the Republic of Namibia. I thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Ndingara. Members, can we please take our seats? Yes, Honorable Hengari.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to refer the Speaker to Rule 73, Sub-Rule G. Members may not utter political party slogans or display political flags, emblems, or any such articles or wear clothing displaying such slogans, political party colors, flags, emblems, or other political party insignia except on special occasions agreed to by the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what just happened now was a clear violation of this rule, Rule 73, Sub-Rule G, and I would like the Honorable Speaker to rule on that particular rule. Thank you. And Honorable Chair, you're not allowed to lift your fist in this house. Thank you. I can repeat the rule.
No, the rule I got, but when
The
you
rule
say
is
what
rule-
just happened.
Rule 73.
Honorable member, can you hear me? I heard your citation of the rule.
Yes.
I was following up on the statement that say what just happened here. If you can
Yes.
just cite it.
What happened here is it falls within emblems or other political party insignia, which is in the rule, except
where is that
on
one?
special occasions agreed to by the Speaker.
Where is
the,
that one?
the lifting of fists, the singing of swapper songs is not allowed as per this rule. Honorable Speaker, unless of course the Speaker can tell us that the swapper caucus agrees that today is a special occasion and they are allowed to lift swapper fists and also sing swapper songs. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I think the House has a code of conduct, and it includes a prohibition of singing and sloganeering, and also party colors, which I have seen a lot of honorable members violating in this House. So for honorable members, can I be heard in silence? Yeah, the rules, honorable members. The rules, honorable members. No, you don't tell the presiding officer how to rule. Yeah. Then we proceed, Honorable Ampanda. Now we were on, are you saying something on the statement? Because we were on reports and papers.
Yeah, thank you very much.
On what point? Yeah, I have ruled already, and I will not repeat. I say yes, the rules, all of them, as they stand here, let's comply with them. Whether it is sloganeering or party colors or jeering when the presiding officer is ruling or arguing with the presiding officer, let's agree that that is not allowed under these rules, and let's uphold these rules. Yeah. So the honorable member can continue. On what point?
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I remember I was a very young man at the University of Namibia during when Honorable Karonda...
Honorable member must first say what point you are raising
No,
on.
I thought you said you were speaking on the...
No, I was asking.
Yes,
So
yes, it's on the Honorable...
Yes, okay, honorable members, I would want us to do justice to that. Okay. Maybe for today, if it is only you, I give you 2 minutes. We will have an opportunity to say goodbye to him.
Okay.
Because otherwise we are in the process of following a routine.
Yeah, no, thank you, Speaker. Those 2 minutes. I just want to say, as a young man then at the time, there was this thing of the 600 million that just disappeared with GIPF. That remains unaccounted for until today. And as young people, we're now thinking who is guilty and who is not. It is something that actually divided the labor movement. Probably he became a casualty during that process. So we're identifying Honorable Dingara as part of those people who sold out during that so specific time. You see me after, then I can talk to you. So then we, with the passage of time, during that whole period, Honorable Dingara never sought to defend himself, exonerate himself, and I always found it very strange. I only got to understand when I came to the National Assembly and had an opportunity to engage with him, both as a chairperson of our Committee on Urban and Rural Development and other committees that where we serve. And I've never seen a member who's able to strike a balance between defending, he will always defend his party, but and he does it in a very interesting formula. So he's still there defending his party, but still be able to observe the humanity of others. It is something that I've learned, even as chairperson, who will go in meetings and you say, can you quickly chair, can you quickly try and see how you could handle. Others just 4x4 for 5 years, 20 years, want to have all the powers, but we get an opportunity even as young people. We will probably never get to be chairpersons of committees as young people, but Honorable Digara gives us responsibility and say, handle this. While he's just sitting there at the back and intervene where it's absolutely necessary. And I'm saying this publicly because we have a tendency of coming to people's funeral and say all these nice things. On behalf of the young, not youth, the young people of the affirmative repositioning movement, I want to thank you, Honorable Dingara, for your leadership, and also just giving us that side to say that you can still defend your party, yet remain principled and recognize the humanity of others. Thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. So let's say goodbye to him on his last day. Today, we just say thank you very much that he has notified us, and then we will come to that day. And then we proceed to notices of questions. Yes, Honorable Lucato.
Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament, and the leaders of various political parties, good day and thank you for the platform. Today, on Tuesday, 24 February 2026, I hereby give notice that on Tuesday, 3 March 2026, I shall ask the Minister of Rural and Urban Development, my relative brother, who is also very active Minister, Honorable Sankwasa, James Sankwasa, the following questions. This is regard, you see, the land housing in Namibia. Honorable Minister, the cost of living continues to escalates daily, especially in areas of housing and accommodation. First question, what strategies has the government put in place to make housing affordable for the Namibian people, especially those that work in the private sectors who do not have housing subsidies? Number two, what makes housing in Namibia extremely higher priced? Extremely higher priced. Number three, the last one, why is the land in Namibia very expensive to purchase? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
The questions, Honorable Member. Honorable Mbinge, Shewundo.
Good afternoon, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 5th of March 2026, I shall ask the Minister of Health and Social Services, Honorable Dr. Esperanza Olvidao, the following. The directive by Her Excellency President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah requiring senior government officials under the Public Service Employee Medical Aid Scheme to transition to public health care facilities from the 1st of April 2026 raises serious concerns about the government approach to healthcare reform. Public hospitals are already full, short of staff, and often run out of medicine. Moving more people into the public health system without first fixing these problems could make the situation even worse and put more pressure on a system that is already struggling. I therefore ask the following questions. What concrete readiness assessment has the Ministry conducted to ensure public hospitals can absorb the initial influx of senior government officials without further straining the already overcrowded facilities? Given persistent reports of medicine and staff shortages, what immediate intervention are being implemented before the 1st of April 2026 to safeguard service and quality of patient dignity? Will SEME's contribution rates remain unchanged under this new arrangement? And how will contributors' funds be transparently managed during the transition? Will public servants still retain the option to access private healthcare services under specific conditions, particularly for chronic and specialized care? What accountability measures are in place to protect citizens' right to quality healthcare, freedom of choice, and improved health outcomes under this reform? And in conclusion, what are specific measures will the Ministry implement to reduce the patient waiting times in public hospitals, particularly through improvements in the doctor-to-nurse ratio and nurse-to-patient ratio? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Please take with the questions, Honorable Member. Yes. Honorable Nashinge. Okay. Honorable, let's first go through the list and I will hear the gist of the oral questions. The rules say we must first listen to the written questions and only after that we may consider oral questions. Oh, you were, okay, that was in a lighter note. Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Good afternoon. Honorable Speaker, I hereby give notice that on the 26th of this month, I shall be asking the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, Safety and Security, Honorable Lucia Ipumbu, the following. Honorable Speaker, a nation's border is its first line of defense, the face of its sovereignty and the front line of its national security. And a well-resourced border control system is not a luxury, but a constitutional and moral obligation. When border infrastructures crumbles and when officers cannot communicate and when entry points are porous and unmonitored, it is not only our officials who suffer, but it's every Namibian citizen who is left exposed to smuggling, illegal immigration, migration, and cross-border crime. I have specific particular concern at the seaports of Lutherets and Wabash Bay, where you don't find police checkpoints or immigration officials when you have foreigners coming in. It is against this background that I rise to put the following questions to the Honorable Minister. One, what steps is the Ministry taking to address the border control challenges? Two, is the Minister aware that Namibia borders remain significantly porous with large stretches of unfenced terrain and river banks entirely unmonitored? Is the Minister further aware that patrol units lack suitable vehicles and equipment to cover the terrain effectively? And if so, what strategies are in place to address the security gaps mentioned above? Third and final, how is that possible that contraband goods and narcotics worth millions of Namibian dollars continue routinely being intercepted inland and not at the entry points? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Please take the question. Honorable Klute. Honorable Mashindange. Oh, Honorable Klute is behind there.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was looking here, I thought somebody mistook you. Okay, go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, I hereby give notice that on 5 March 26, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport, noting that on the 3rd of February 2026, the President stated categorically that her children have no interest, direct or indirect, in the oil and gas sector. Yet Trayport Namibia Pty Limited, of which the President's son is CEO and co-founder, publicly lists bonded diesel and fuel imports and wholesale distribution as core business lines on its website tradeportnam.com and employs a dedicated head of fuel distribution. Further noting that Tradeport operates from the port of Lutherets, the designated site for the proposed 4 billion oil supply base, and that an Ernst & Young forensic audit found prima facie evidence of potential fraud and theft in Tradeport's relationship with Transnamib, including procurement bypasses, yet no anti-corruption commission or public accounts committee investigation has followed. Concerned that diesel is a petroleum product classified under the Petroleum Products and Energy Act, and that fuel import and wholesale distribution falls squarely within the oil and gas sector by any reasonable definition, I'll ask the following questions. Does the Minister accept that Tradeport Namibia's publicly listed business of fuel imports and wholesale distribution constitutes an interest in the oil and gas sector? And if so, how does this reconcile with the President's categorical denial of 3rd of February 2026? 2. On what basis was Tradeport Namibia installed as the anchor tenant at the Port Lutherets without a competitive tender process, and was any conflict of interest assessment conducted given the CEO's relationship to a sitting Deputy Prime Minister at the time of war? Number 3, what action has the government taken on the Ernst & Young forensic audit findings of prima facie fraud and theft in the Transport Transnamib relationship? And why has the report not been referred to the Anti-Corruption Commission? 4th and lastly, will the Minister confirm whether Tradeport Namibia has submitted any expression of interest bid or proposal in connection with the Luther's oil supply base project. I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Table the questions, Honorable Member. Honorable Mashindange.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I give notice that on Thursday, the 26th of February 2026, I shall ask the Minister of Finance, Honorable Erika Shafuta, the following. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, the Development Bank of Namibia, DBN, plays a central role in financing Namibia's socio-economic development from small to medium enterprises. Its mandate and its status as a state-owned institution means that it is ultimately accountable to this House and the Namibian taxpayers. However, according to recent news, the integrity of DBN's loan book and the management of non-performing loans raise significant public interests and concerns, worse that only 1 out of 4 beneficiaries pay back. The latest annual results show that while DBN's total loan book stands at approximately 5.8 billion Namibian dollars, a substantial portion of the portfolio, around 2.3 billion, consists of restructured loans, indicating fragile repayment performances. Moreover, about 579 million was written off in the last financial year as loans apparently deemed unrecoverable. These figures carry implications on public finances, risk of state contingent liabilities, and serious impact on DBN sustainability. It is therefore imperative that this House obtain clarity on the governance, risk management, and recovery strategies the DBN employs, and how the Ministry of Finance exercises its oversight. Against the aforementioned background, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, I now ask, what is the current value of DBN's total outstanding loan book as at latest reporting period, broken down by performing versus non-performing loans? Number 2, can the Minister provide a detailed breakdown of the 579 million in loans which was written off in the latest financial year, including borrowers, categories, sectors, and reasons for write-off? Number 3, how does the Ministry of Finance monitor DBN's credit risk exposure, and what stress testing and risk mitigation frameworks are in place to ensure DBN's balance sheet's resilience, and how often are they reviewed? Number 4, and the last question, will the Minister commit to publishing a public list of all defaulted loans above a materiality threshold, including the written off loans subject to confidentiality and private legislation? Honorable Speaker, I so submit.
Thank you, Honorable. We now table your question. Honorable Kalangula.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. To Honorable Dingara, I wish you all the best and Godspeed. It was a pleasure serving with you. On the question, Honorable Speaker, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 19th of March, I shall ask the Minister of Works and Transport the following questions. Honorable Minister, Roads Authority awarded a tender for the construction of the Kasika Nakabolelwa Road. However, despite the award, no visible progress has been made on the ground for nearly 2 years. Not even 1 kilometer of road has been constructed. Community members continue to suffer from poor accessibility, high transport costs, and isolation. The situation has raised serious concerns about whether the contractor has submitted any progress report to the ministry and whether the project is being properly monitored. Residents are now proposing that the tender be withdrawn immediately by the end of March, given the lack of delivery and accountability. This issue highlights problems of infrastructure delays, contractor performance, and government oversight in rural development projects. Honorable Minister, it is based on this background that I now ask the following questions. Has the contractor submitted any progress reports for the Kasika-Nakabolelwa Road project? And if so, can you share their contents to this Honorable House? Number 2, why has no visible progress been made on the ground for 2 years, despite the tender being awarded, and what accountability measures are being taken against the contractor? Number 3, what monitoring systems are in place to ensure the contractor's delivery on awarded projects, and how will this be strengthened to prevent similar failures in the future? Number 4, and lastly, while the roads remain incomplete, what interim measures will the ministry implement to ease transport hardship faced by Kasika, Ihaha, Invilizvinzi, and Ijambwe residents? I so submit, Honorable.
Please table the question, Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable Mbundu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I hereby keep noting that on Thursday, the 26th of February 2026, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Urban and Rural Development, Honorable James Sankwasa, the following. I wish to acknowledge the Honorable Minister of Justice for taking his staff, members on single quota for Kapana and spending 2,000 on them, and the seller were clearly delighted. Imagine what it means for Kapana seller to receive what kind of support from a government minister. It brings excitement and immediate relief for a small trader to receive, a small trader. The reason is simple. If the Kapana or informal trader can be that happy over once of 500, just imagine a joy and dignity of finally having a roof over their heads. I ask the following question. Honorable Minister, the Governor of Commerce recently clarified that the 5,000 housing pledge for the region was not his personal promise, but it's part of broader government manifesto. In that context, since the 2024 election promises, how many houses were actually been built, and how many have been completed and handed over to the beneficiary, and how many are currently under construction, and what is the clear timeline to ensure that ordinary Namibians, includes small traders, finally receive proper housing? I so submit.
Yes, table the questions. Honorable Likando.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 5th of March 2026, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest and Tourism the following questions. Honorable Speaker, Namibia joined the rest of the world in commemorating World Pangolin Day in the Zambezi region on Saturday, 21 February 2026, under the timely theme, Pangolin Guardians in Africa. However, while we celebrate these awareness milestones, the recent spike in pangolin confiscations underscores an urgent need to transition from symbolic commemoration to intensified legislative and tactical support. I therefore put the following question to the Honorable Minister. Could the Honorable Minister provide the total number of countrywide arrests made specifically for pangolin-related offences since the 2025 commemoration? What additional resources are being deployed to support local rangers and pangolin guardians stationed in high-risk corridor? What is the current status of the National Species Management Plan for pangolin? Is the ministry providing land or technical assistance for the establishment of a permanent rehabilitation and research center for pangolins confiscated from illegal trade? Lastly, does the minister even know the population of pangolins currently residing within Namibia's borders, or is the state operating on outdated estimates? Honorable Speaker, I so submit.
Honorable Hishono.
Urgent oral.
Okay, Honorable Venani. Okay, now I have Honorable Ampanda, is yours oral? Honorable Somaib, oral? Honorable Kandorodu, oral? Honorable Rutuhezi, Honorable Hengari, oral. Okay, so then we start with Honorable Venani. Honorable Hishono, yeah, you fell off the list. Oh, it's Honorable Hishono, Honorable Member. Please, no, Honorable Member. Honorable, he is going to the bottom of the list because his name, if you take the floor, he will go to the bottom of the list. Honorable, just take your seat, please. I will get the gist in any case, so there is no guarantee the question will be put. Yes, Honorable Sean. Huh?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and good afternoon. Honorable Speaker, this one is scary. Please listen very, very well. As we speak right now in this comfortable place, the grade 5 of the Shatupamba Primary School in Congo Circuit, that's where the Shtana come from, they are being taught under a tree, and it's a rain season. And when it's raining, they quickly run to the next class, and then the other class now is disturbed until rain stops for them to come out. This is not an isolated case. I have a list of schools here that same thing is happening, like Omboto.
Yes. Honorable Member, just exactly because of that point you are making, I was about to say, I have noted that it's a gist he is giving, and he has now given enough gist to say, if really the question is about the situation of our children who have no classrooms, yeah, and are taught under whatever kind of structures that they are taught under, can the honorable members not just put the question and enable the minister to give a comprehensive answer that talks to all these places? Yeah, they are agent, but if he has that list...
You have finished my question for me.
No.
That was part of my question.
Honorable member, the rule empowers the presiding officer to determine whether a question can be put as oral or not. And that is why I asked the member to give a gist. Yeah, and so now that you have given the gist, honorable member, I now ask that you should just put that question in writing.
In writing while it's raining.
Yeah. Honorable member, now you are arguing. You are arguing now. Yeah. Honorable Venani. No, honorable members, let's try please to make progress. Yeah. Honorable Venani. The gist, please.
No. First, on 1 minute privilege.
No. Urgent oral question.
Speaker, I need to clarify matters.
Honorable member, you were given the floor to ask an agent oral question.
I'm asking has relation to a question that was asked. So I want you to just help us. myself and Honorable, the young man, Honorable Mashindange, asked the same question to the Minister of Finance on DBN, and she is saying she's ready to reply. So I just want us to put that question in context.
Which question? Honorable Mashindange asked the question in writing. So it is not going to be answered today.
In oral.
No, then you are ruled out of order because that is anticipation. If a question is already put in writing.
I already put the question. That's why you don't listen. I put the question before.
When?
Okay, Nadia, let's leave it there because the speaker refused to listen to reason. Speaker, under Rule 136.
That is out of order, Honorable Member.
Agent oral question to the same Minister of Finance. I see she's very yellow. Honorable Minister, it's a Balotti is now educating me on politics or what?
Yes. The gist, Honorable Member.
I'm asking an agent oral question. Was it 134?
Honorable members.
We know you have promised the ministry.
Honorable member, just proceed.
I'm being disturbed by your members. The speaker's members. The speaker is the mother of the house, so she is the mother of everyone. Honorable Minister of Finance, very serious.
Honorable members, Honorable Venani, just one moment. It's already break time. And then in order for us to measure the 20 minutes that we have for agent oral questions, let's just start from a clean page. So we rise for a break and then we come back for that 20 minutes to consider the agent oral questions of the members. Yes, Honorable. Yeah, because otherwise we will just disrupt your question. Honorable Venani was on the floor to ask. The minister is not here. Okay. Which minister were you going to pose the question to? Finance, okay. Honorable Ampanda? Okay. Honorable Somael? Mines. He is also not here. Honorable Kanderodu? No, Honorable. Honorable Kanderodu, what is the gist of your question?
The
Yes, please.
Pesema's issue.
Okay. To who? To the Minister of... to Health. Who? To which minister?
No. Health.
Okay.
Health.
Okay, what is the gist of the question?
The gist is for the government medical aid holder to be treated at state hospitals.
That was the question of Honorable Sheundo.
That one will come next year.
No. the rule of anticipation. You can't have the same question asked in writing and orally.
Okay, can I have another one for finance? Similar.
She's not here. Yeah,
She's not here.
Honorable Minister, unfortunately, yes, we cannot, the question is ruled out of order because it is put in writing. And another member can't put it orally when it has already been put in writing. But we are not yet there. Yeah, so we will come to the statement and then we will see if it addresses a question. The unfortunate problem is, can somebody find the... Yeah, no, the Minister of Finance is not here anyway, Honorable Kanderodu. Honorable Ampanda? Huh? Why? What is happening to the list? Honorable Ampanda? No, you said already. Honorable... I don't know what is happening with this list, because I called Honorable Somael. He said the minister was not here. Mines is not here. But this list is not moving. Honorable Rutuhezi.
Thank you for the floor, Honorable Speaker. I want to ask an oral question to the Minister of Health, Dr. Ruvindao.
Yes, please. Let me hear the gist.
Honorable Minister, the recent study in South Africa done by the Free State University found that the hormone-disruptive chemicals were found on sanitary pads in most brands. And these chemicals are linked to cancer, they are linked to infertility, they are also linked to reproductive disorders. Considering that we import most of our commodities from South Africa, and sanitary pads, panty liners is no exception, I'm very worried because thousands of Namibians, we all use those on a daily basis. Honorable Minister, are you aware how safe is our population? And maybe I should ask, how many of these products are getting on our shores without being detected? I'm asking because you are the custodian of health in the Republic of Namibia. And maybe, Honorable Minister, how can you assure the Namibian nation, especially women and girls, how safe are we from the potential exposure to these very dangerous hormone-disruptive chemicals? I so submit.
The mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member, for the question. Your first question was, are you aware? Yes, I'm aware. I think we bumped into the same social media post that made you aware. So yes, I am aware. With regards to how safe it is, that's a very important question. We saw the same social media post, and we've of course, been able to understand what exactly the complaints are currently. One of them being that it has been, so to speak, found in these studies that they cause hormone disruption and all. Unfortunately, this is something that requires an investigation. It has been brought to our attention, and the necessary reviews are being done. And once we have feedback from that, we will notify the public, and we take it from there. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable. Yes. Yes, you can have a follow-up question, please. Just proceed, Honorable Member, with your follow-up question. Oh, it's the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your honesty. And I'm glad you said investigations are underway, because as much as it is viral, it's in every channel, our girls and women are scared. As a woman, you should be scared too, because I'm scared. So these findings should come sooner so that our people can be at ease. Thank you very much.
Honorable Hengari.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I was going to ask Ba Sankwasa, but I've already conferred with him on the sidelines, so I'll not be posing the question. Thank you.
Honorable Karonda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is really urgent. On the 5th of February this year, the young man who died in Chivarongo lost his life. Honorable Minister last week told us that she had launched an investigation. I want to know...
Which minister is that?
Minister of Health. Who are the members of this investigating team? What are its terms of reference? And when are they due to commence their work? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Question. Honorable Member, I might be incorrect, Honorable Speaker. When we do investigations, we don't bring names of investigative panels to the Parliament House. That stands to compromise the integrity of the investigation, which we will not do, we are not willing to do. If the Honorable Parliamentarian is interested in detail to know exactly, I'm still on the floor.
Honorable Member, can you allow? You see, yes, let the Minister please finish answering the question. Honorable Member, you would have an opportunity to ask a supplementary question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So for the sake of integrity of investigations, and this is just one investigation, we have multiple investigations that are being conducted. We cannot, absolutely not, bring to this House names of members that have been appointed to investigation panels. It compromises integrity, and I trust the Honorable Member will be able to understand that, because what help does it do to make name the people that we have put on this committee only for them to either be threatened or anything else? And so I trust the Honorable Member will be able to understand that once an investigation is ongoing, once the investigation concludes, as I mentioned last time, Honorable Member, the report will be provided to the House. If the Honorable Member has any other questions, perhaps information about anything else, please feel free to come engage me, and we will find a way forward. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member, can we please, I know that this is an important issue. Honorable Member, you cannot have a follow-up question on a question posed by another member. Yeah, no, only the member who asked the question can have a follow-up question. Now, Honorable Nashinge.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, just ask for the floor to speak. Be on the line if you have a question. Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Mine is just a quick one to the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Just trying to find out, in sight of the conflict of interest revelation by the President of the Independent Patriots for Change and Her Excellency's statement on record about her family having zero indirect or direct interest in the oil and gas sector. Just wanted to find out the position of the Right Honorable Prime Minister as to, is there anything that we can update? Is he aware of anything? What are we going to do as a country at the early stage of this sector, and really just for the country image outside the continent and outside ourselves? Thank you.
Honorable Member, on that question, first there was a question that was put in writing by one MP today. That is one. Number two, if the query of Honorable Nashinge is different from what was queried today, let the Honorable Member just put that question in writing so that you have the opportunity to check and see whether it is the same question or two different questions. Otherwise, there is no reason why this question cannot be notified as per the rule. I just want to emphasize once again, the rule says all the questions must be put in writing. It is only in exceptional circumstances, as will be determined by the presiding officer, at the discretion of the presiding officer, can a question be put orally. I just want to emphasize that part. Now, Honorable Kalangula.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Mine is on an urgent question to Honorable Minister of Works and Transport. On the road south of Arweb, thank you for the correction. Yeah, several routes are affected due to that heavy rain. What is the action taken, and are there any ministerial updates perhaps to the nation? Thank you so much. Honorable
Thank you, Minister of Works.
Short and sweet.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The question of the Honorable Member. Honorable Member, the Road Authority, under the Minister of Works and Transport, is the body entrusted to maintain and ensure the construction of our roads in the whole of Namibia. Our teams have always been on the ground of any incident that has a negative impact on our road infrastructure. Over the weekend, we have received heavy rain in the southern part of Namibia, particularly the Hartap and Karas. A number of roads were washed away, and our teams have since been deployed since Sunday, and yesterday they are on site. But be assured, because of the engineering that is involved, some might not be able to be repaired or be restored right away because of the engineering configurations that might be of challenge. The other aspects, we are also cognizant of a higher priorities where the communities have no alternative roads. Those we do everything to restore and of instant over 24 hours. But some have alternative roads. So those are alternative roads. We again try for them to use the alternative roads. However, the bottom line is any road that is being distracted because of any other bill of rain of any matter, we are always on the ground, and as we speak, our teams are in the south, and they are doing that to restore the roads infrastructure for the primary reasons that our people connectivity are properly restored and their safety is our concern. Moving from here, my last word to you is, when you are next time on the road, drive safely. All of us, not only you, all of us, so that we preserve the lives of our people. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Brinkman. Honorable Brinkman. Yes, please, you have the floor. Honorable Brinkman.
He's asking a follow-up.
Oh, yeah. Honorable member, we have 5 minutes now. The remaining honorable members will not have the opportunity to. Yeah, because I want to advise that certain issues, I think we can follow up with the ministers. And when there are disasters, really, ministers can have a toll-free number or something where people can. Yeah, it is true. Yeah, it is true. Honorable member, please follow up directly. Honorable Brinkman.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on an urgent matter of recruitment process that happened in Marinta. The members of the community raised concerns. The members of the community raised concerns because they felt that only a certain tribe received favor while there are local candidates that are qualified for the same positions. So the recruitment process was put on hold pending investigations.
Yes, honorable member, that's a very, very important issue, I agree. But I will ask that you please just put the question in writing.
Speaker.
Yes, honorable member. Yes.
If I put it in writing, as we speak, the recruited staff started already 1st of February. We don't know what happened with the investigations. Was it concluded? Where's the report? As the minister just said earlier, that if the investigation is concluded, the report will be here. There's no report here. We don't know what happened.
Okay, honorable member, so what is your question? Whether the report is here? Is that
yes,
the question?
Since the staff started, since the employment process was concluded with the same tribe being employed, what happened to the investigation? That is what we want to know. Thank you.
Yes. Honorable Minister, which minister is that one? Minister of Health.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member. That's a very important question. I remember answering this question previously. I think it was in 2025. At that point, which I did agree with the Honorable Member, and I said it's an important issue and one which we really want to get to the crux of and not merely provide an answer for the sake of it. And during that answer, I did mention to the Honorable Member that once the investigation was concluded, we would provide feedback. I did receive the preliminary feedback report. I did ask the team to go back because there were certain items that I wanted to know from a human resource perspective what the way forward would be. And so, Honorable Member, it is not per se to say that the report is done, but it has not been brought back. It is rather to say, as I mentioned last year, once the report has been concluded with actionable way forward, we will then bring it to the House. But the tentative report has been provided. I was not fully satisfied with it because it didn't quite address what the way forward will be as to how do we avoid this going forward, if at all there was any wrongdoing found. Thank you.
Again, some things are very, very important, but at the end of the day, we may have these issues not addressed if we don't follow the correct procedures. You see, a question is to get an answer that can be provided impromptu. But when there is an issue of concern, there is just a concern and that issue needs to be addressed. It is possible if you go to a line ministry and there is no satisfactory feedback that the matter can be escalated to a higher office. Because the focus here is to have a reaction, to have the matter addressed, instead of really just having a back and forth with questions and answers without addressing the issues. Now, Honorable Somaeb. Now, 1 minute for the question and answer.
1 minute, okay. Yeah, my oral question is going to Honorable Amuten, the Minister of Mines and Energy. On the 16th of February, a small-scale miner was halfly buried in a Pupa constituency. The miner, small-scale miner. So I want to know, are you aware about this? And from the ministry side, is there any investigation? Because this issue is totally silent. Even I follow up today, commissioners, and there's no response on this. So what is the status quo from your office about this? Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And thank you very much, Honorable Member, for the question. Yeah, of course, the safetyness of our people is our serious concern as a ministry. We are aware of the incident that took place where a male miner was probably buried half when the trench where they were mining, I'm told is copper because there has been no official submission to the ministry, but our team that site were dispatched to investigate. So we are still awaiting for the full report on what has transpired. But what is important is that we are definitely planning that part of the country, especially the Kunene area. We are planning to see how to engage with more miners, because that is probably just one of some incidents that might not be of the same magnitude. Maybe the others were much lesser, but we think that we have to speak to these people to number one, exercise safetyness when they are looking for stones, different type of stones. And we are also talking about people who are, some of them are authorized, some of them are doing it unauthorized. In this specific one, we are also not sure whether they were doing it under a license or they were doing it under the papers, because some of them get papers from we are told, from the traditional authorities. So we are still to verify facts, and I will then report back to this August House. So I shall submit.
Honorable Member, is it clear? Okay. Thank you. Then we go to notices of motion, notice of motions. Honorable Ricardo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I move without notice in terms of Rule 124H of the Standing Rules and Orders that leave of absence due to official business in terms of Rule 761D and F be granted to Honorable John Lo Muton during the period of 2 to 7 March 2026. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Honorable Member, table the motion. Honorable Lucato.
Honorable Speaker, Member of Parliament, today, Tuesday, 24 February 2026, I hereby give notice that on Tuesday, 3 March 2026, I shall move that this August House discuss and agrees a motion to establish a set up a second National Heroes Acre in Katima Muliro Zambezi region. The history of the liberation struggle for independence of Namibia started with the Overherero and the Nama people through their traditional authority councils. In addition was the formation of the first political party, the Swala, which has been transformed to Swanu of Namibia today. Later on, in the political history of this country, the Ovambo People's Organization, OPO, and the later OPO People Organization, OPO, which was transformed into the Southwest African People's Organization, SWAPO, were formed to include other groups of Namibia, ethnic groups, in 1966. I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Motion, Honorable. Jeffries.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I move without notice in terms of Rule 124H of the Standing Rules and Orders that leave of absence due to official business in terms of Rule 76, 1, D and F be granted to Honorable Ina Ngari during the period of the 2nd to the 7th of March 2026. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Please table the motion. Honorable Somae.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. I also move without notice in terms of Rule 124 of Standing Rules and Orders that leave of absence due to official business in terms of Rule 76 be granted to Honorable Kaubaib during the period of 2nd to 7th March 2026. So I submit.
Thank you. Please table the motion, Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable Hengari.
I am a little bit, of course, with full consideration of Rule 7 of our rules, I am a little bit confused, and perhaps, Speaker, you can guide. Now, my understanding has been that once a member travels on official business, and once that period does not exceed 10 consecutive days, they would not then need to put in a leave of absence. This has not only been the practice, but it's also in line with the rule that actually would then enforce or kick in that particular action of a member. When does a member vacate their seat? Where it speaks about if they miss a sitting for 9 consecutive sittings, then of course they vacate their seats. So one of the things that has always happened is that if a member is assigned by this assembly to travel as part of their committee activities, they would not then need to put in leave of absence because automatically you're considered to be on official duty. So I just want that clarity, Speaker, and this is not, I'm really just confused that we can spend 10 minutes or so of members actually asking for leave while we're not going on leave. We're actually traveling with work.
Yes, Honorable Member, in terms of Rule 76, leave of absence from sittings of the Assembly, 76, 1, D. It says the Assembly may grant a member leave of absence if the member must attend to parliamentary activities and functions or must go on public or official duties and the member's chief whip or party whip agrees. Yes, Honorable Cooper.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to get a consensus from the backbenchers to table this particular item to the Standing Rules and Orders for us to discuss that matter in depth. I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
I don't know now what to make out of that proposal because there was a query of interpretation made and the presiding officer made the ruling. So the rule said the presiding officer would either make a ruling or would refer to the matter to the House for a decision. The presiding officer made the ruling. So I actually don't understand that. But maybe the member, I will seek clarity from the chief whip of the member. Yeah. At a later time. So now we proceed to the, yes, the ruling is what I read here. The ruling is what I read here. And when you go to rule number 7, that was cited by Honorable Hengari. And it's actually unfortunate because what we are doing is debating a ruling. That's practically what we are doing now. The ruling, it says, 7.2 says the presiding members may require members to comply with established conventions and practices. So the honorable member is saying that is an established practice, and the presiding member may. Yeah, if that is now, if there is no rule, yeah, if there is no rule, then we can go to the practice. But there is a rule that is very clear. But really the challenge that I have is that there is a ruling made. And really to go back and discuss it that way, I'm unable to go back in that way. Yes. Yes, Honorable, now we were now on notices of motions. Are we back to notice of, yeah. Yeah, we are now on notices of motion on the order paper. And we are saying the first notice of a motion is the one of the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Does the Right Honorable Prime Minister move the motion?
Yeah, yes,
Okay, yes, this notice of motion, yeah. So there was no Honorable Prime Minister, please. Okay, notices of motion, there was no uptake of notice of motion. So we go to ministerial statements. Is that so? Yes. But I see Honorable Venani. Now, why is Honorable Venani? Huh? Yeah, honorable members, can you please switch off, because when the minister has made a ministerial statement, there may be members who ask for the floor. Yeah. Yeah. So, Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members of this august House, and very importantly, those that will be listening to this. So I rise today to update the House as well as the Namibian nation on a topic that has been in quite contentious and debated over the past few days. I would like to provide clarity through a ministerial statement, hoping that this will provide an opportunity for answers for a few of the questions that we have. Now, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, shortly after Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah took office or ascended to the highest office in the land as the first president, female president of the Republic of Namibia, she issued a very important directive, and that directive is as follows, and it will be the basis of a lot of this ministerial statement. And that directive was as follows. From April 2026, all senior government officials must make use of public health facilities. I will repeat that again. From April 2026, all senior government officials must make use of public health facilities. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, this directive, now widely known as Vision April 2026, is not merely an administrative adjustment. However, it is one that is done on a very firm foundation, and I want to highlight what that foundation is. Now, this particular directive, firstly, is focused especially in the phased approach of which the Ministry of Health and Social Services is undertaking this. This, for phase 1, is focused on senior officials. Now, senior government officials, which include the President, the Minister of Health, other ministers, parliamentarians, and it is important to highlight that an extensive list of names of those that have been included in this list of senior government officials will be made available
can we just hear the minister
to
out,
the
please?
public. Now, with that said, the senior government officials that have been identified for this, for Vision April 2026, for phase 1, who are characterized as senior government officials, are 1,176, and not all SEMAS members. There has been robust public debate regarding this vision, and I want to take this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, to provide some clarity. Now, firstly, I wish to provide a platform for this speech. The government of Namibia is the largest employer in this country. Employs approximately 118,936 employees, and these are covered by SEMAS. Now, this medical aid scheme, mind you, particularly in this financial year, commands a budget of plus minus nearly $4 billion, 3.9 billion Namibian dollars. Now, I wish to highlight that about 85% of the Namibian population, roughly 2,500,067 Namibian people, rely solely on public health services provided for under the same government by the Ministry of Health and Social Services. Now, with that said, to cater to this 2,567,000 Namibians, we have a budget in this particular financial year of plus minus $12.27 billion. Now, while the private sector continues to boast world-class-like amenities, the public sector has struggled with aging infrastructure, long patient waiting times, as well as supply chain challenges. Now, for too long, it is important for me to highlight that we've accepted this two-tier system, and I want to focus on this. For so long, services have been deemed insufficient for senior officials, but they are deemed acceptable for the ordinary Namibian. And this has been the reality. If the system is good enough, and I want to highlight this particular point, if the system is good enough, and this is a key basis for this particular vision, April 2026, if the system and the Ministry of Health and Social Services is good enough for the cuckoo or the grandfather in the village, then it ought to be good enough for the executive director in Windhoek, then it ought to be good enough for the Minister of Health and Social Services, and then it ought to be good enough for parliamentarians as well. If public hospitals are not good enough for politicians, we must then accept what we are ultimately saying by saying that. The way forward then is not to shy away from making government officials use it and to question whether or not we are ready, but to fast forward that process to ensure that a progressive solution is not to say we are not ready, but is to get the facilities to a level whereby they are able to meet the needs of the people, and people are able to call them their own facilities. Now, therefore, Honourable Speaker, Honourable Members, this is ultimately the incentive to fix the system. Because if the Minister of Health and Social Services is making use of the same facilities where she is being asked of whether there is sufficient medication and others, we then ask ourselves, is this not part of fixing that gap? Now, Honourable Members, we've received repetitive questions about how safe are state hospitals. So let me be clear about answering that. The public health sector currently provides services to about 85%, over 85% according to recent statistics, of the population. If it was not safe, that means about 85% of the population would be dead. So it is through these very services that Namibia has recorded significant improvements in quality of life over the past 3 decades. And if the system has been safe enough to sustain the lives of over 2 million Namibians, it is safe enough for senior government officials. And if we feel that there are crucial changes to be made, now is the time to make those changes and provide those upgrades to get us to a level whereby senior government officials are well content and happy to use the same facilities as the average Namibian. To prepare for April 2026, the Ministry has undertaken a comprehensive readiness assessment. And when I say this, Honourable Speaker, Honourable Members, I am well aware of the fact that gaps exist. So this is not us saying that gaps do not exist. Key areas of which in the year 2025 in September, the Ministry undertook an assessment or facility assessment task. And this involved ministries, key ministries, including my Deputy Executive Director, including the Executive Director, and myself, visiting facilities all around the country, assessing these facilities. Are they able to meet the demands? And that is why we've highlighted that Vision April 2026 is a phased approach. It is not all 118,000 members of SEMAS that are going to flock to health facilities. And that is why context and correct information is key. Now, one of the gaps that were identified was human resources. Of that, the Ministry of Health and Social Services, together with the Ministry of Finance last year, took a decision to advertise positions of over 2,000 additional personnel. This was not for nothing. This was because the assessment had been done to say in order to get facilities to start reaching a level where they can be workable to the extent we want them to be, we need to hire these additional personnel. I wish to highlight that as of now, we have filled about 70% of these posts, with over 1,262 medical professional posts already have been filled, and the rest of which are to be filled in March 2026. Secondly is the issue of the availability of medicines. In 2025, there was an issue with regards to procurement of medication and running out of stock of medication. The ministry then took a strategy to oversee or to go through direct procurement with manufacturers. Now, this strategy has borne fruit. We have seen medication coming in through direct procurement. We have received ARVs, we've received antibiotics, we've received paracetamol and the likes. And in February to March 2026, we will be receiving about 40% of the outstanding deliveries. The ultimate goal of the Ministry of Health and Social Services is to operate at a stock level of medication of 95% and above, to ensure that when we go to facilities, we don't have to be told that we're out of stock of medication. And a key strategy there is ordering medication for a year in advance. Then the third area that was noted is regarding medical equipment and technology. Accelerated procurement pathways are underway to equip our hospitals with diagnostic and treatment tools comparable to the private health sector. Of note, in 2025, we received our Lodox machine, which is able to scan the entire human body in 13 seconds. Mind you, we are only in state can you find us and not in the private sector. Secondly, we took note in 2025 that we did not have an MRI machine and that we have not had an MRI machine since independence. Immediately, we started a procurement process, and I'm pleased to inform us that that MRI machine is set to arrive 2026, April, May 2026. Now, with that said, it is noted that there are other aspects of equipment and technology that must be addressed, and so therefore the ministry took to undergoing another process of direct procurement from the end of last year up to now, ensuring that we can procure the equipment that is needed to ensure that we guard the health of the people. Then infrastructure and transport, we've worked closely with the Ministry of Works and Transport as well as NTA, and we are executing specific maintenance projects to ensure our facilities are visually and functionally up to standard. These are some of the gaps that we've recognized. We are not saying that we are where we want to be, but we are saying that we have started that very critical process. And once again, this vision is based on the narrative to say, now more than ever, if we as leaders say that the hospitals and the health facilities are good enough for anybody else, they should be good enough for us. And if not, it is time that we make them, that we update them and bring them to the levels where we want them to get to. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Vision April 2026 will not be a rush bang, as I mentioned. It will be rolled out in sensible, manageable processes. It will be rolled out in phases. So at the beginning of my ministerial statement, I said phase 1. Phase 1 is what starts on the 1st of April 2026, where senior government officials will make use of these facilities. Honorable Speaker, if I may be allowed to proceed, I see my time is up due to the sensitivity of it.
Yes, proceed, please.
So phase 1, commencing on the 1st of April 2026, targets the leadership of public service. Now, I highlighted some of the categories. This includes political office bearers, executive directors, secretary to cabinet, the inspector general of the Namibia Police, the chief of the Defense Force, commissioner general of correctional services, and other senior public officials, including all members of this August House. However, a comprehensive document will be circulating outside of the ministerial statement from today to allow us to familiarize ourselves with who is involved and what this means, as well as answering some of our frequently asked questions. Now, by prioritizing this category, which I highlighted is just over 1,000 people, we are securing high-level buy-in. We are putting the leaders on the front line. Now, for this first phase, we've identified particular facilities during that assessment that took place in 2025 that are ready. And the goal is that as we progress and as we continue to upgrade other health facilities, the rollout will then expand to include more public servants and more hospitals as we upgrade them to where they should be. I wish to address two particular issues or concerns that have been raised, which is number one, the issue of waiting times, and number two, the access to specialists. Allow me to firstly start with the issue of waiting times. Last year in 2025, the Ministry of Health and Social Services undertook a decongestion strategy. Now the goal of this, although it might not have been very clear at first for many, but the goal of this was to say we want to reduce the waiting times, we want to decongest the facilities. Now when we started that process, one of the key things we identified was that Procedural Health Center was the only 24-hour functioning health center clinic level lifeline for Windhoek as well as surrounding areas. So one of the key things we did there was do a pre as well as post-pilot analysis. And we noticed the complaints of the people. One of them was the long waiting queues, to which the Ministry of Health and Social Services ensured to expand services. As of this week, Mahwilili Clinic is now also 24/7 operating. We understand that public servants, as well as especially when we speak of senior government officials, we understand that they have obligations, as well as the fact that they probably, or a parliamentarian probably cannot be sitting in a queue for 4 hours when they need to be running national level activities. Therefore, specific patient flow management systems have been designed for these public servants at these vision facilities. Now, this is not to compromise equity, but this is to ensure faster turnaround times so that they can return to their workstations to serve the nation. I do want to highlight that we will be piloting this from March 2026. And as we pilot this and as we roll it out, this is an opportunity for the Ministry of Health and Social Services and all stakeholders to identify where issues might be, loopholes might be, work on them, fix them, and improve them. Regarding specialist care, we are aware that some members fear losing access to specialized treatments currently available in private care. Now, let me take this opportunity to assure this August House that no one will be denied the necessary care. I particularly take this opportunity to make note to us. It is important that we know that a majority of the specialists that are working in private are actually hired by the state. And the Ministry of Health, the Minister of Health and Social Services signs them off as limited private practice to allow them to work in private. And so a majority of the specialists actually work and are hired in the state system. And this is in order to guarantee and to reassure this August House that the senior government officials will be taken care of, because it is the same specialists that treat you on the other side, because it is all under one ministry. Now a specialized service, mind you, available in the public sector is available, and they are available, and they will be utilized. Honorable Speaker, allow me to highlight the following. Vision April 2026 is about dignity. It is about the dignity of the patient in the queue, sitting in Katwa Hospital, who deserves the same quality of care as the patient in a private ward. It is about the dignity of public servants who should be proud to utilize the very services that they work for and that they provide services in. Now, this reform is a multi-stakeholder process. We are engaging from trade unions to professional bodies and medical aid stakeholders. And it is crucial to highlight, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, that as these particular civil servants or senior government officials are now seen in the public sector, this will allow us to transition funding that would have previously gone towards private sector, maintaining, renovating these private sectors, to now come in to allow us to maintain our facilities as well. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, this is positioning not just the Ministry of Health and Social Services to deliver quality, equitable and sustainable healthcare to all people of Namibia, but it is building a system that makes it clear that quality healthcare services are attainable. It requires the necessary input, it requires the necessary political will, and once again, it highlights the fact that if a health facility is good enough for anybody else, it is good enough for the ministers, it is good enough for the president, it is good enough for all of us. Thank you very much.
Now, Honorable Venani, is that the question? Yes, Honorable Venani.
Honorable Minister, you are a very young doctor, medical practitioner yourself. Now, the slogan that you are talking about is a very old slogan. It's my political slogan of African presidents leaving our countries to go and find medication abroad. So it's not a new thing. But anything that you want to do, you are talking about this transition. And it's a laudable transition, but you are moving too fast. That I will inform you as a minister. You are moving too fast. We are not there yet. Explain to me, as a medical practitioner, we were supposed to build a second referral hospital in Windhoek. For the last 35 years, we haven't built one. The president has inaugurated a hospital. Up to now, it is not built in Havana. How are we going to manage just the populace at the Karatura Hospital and the Central Hospital? That's one question. Question two, personally, I'm a regular user of public facilities. If you go to Okashoru Clinic, my card is there permanently. Yes, go there. You just call Okashoru. I know the nurses by name, but every time that I look for medicine in a very least populated clinic, I don't find it. And I suffer from a disease that needs chronic medication. I don't get it. No, don't worry. The other gender knows the problem. I withdraw that. Honorable Minister, the route that you are advocating is where we want to go. Last question. You want to redirect the funds that goes to the private sector back to the public sector. Laudable but very risky. Are we going to collapse the private sector? Or are we going to build a public-private partnership to maintain both the private sector and to maintain the public sector? I am saying none of us have a problem to use medical facility. But Madam Minister, being a doctor, and I've raised this issue before you came to this house, when you go to Karatura Hospital, and any person who suffers from AIDS, HIV, there is a door where you are told, all the patients of HIV go this way. Hey, we had a situation of a president, and I want to raise the caveat. During December, it's public knowledge that the president was hospitalized for a normal hospitalization of a person of age. Me, story, reality. I deal with reality. I'm a leader who deals with reality. When the president was sick, and people divulged that the president is undergoing a particular surgery, it was a big story. Who told the people what, and you were hiding it? Now you are telling us nicely, and it's good that the president goes public. But the president, the minute that she goes to the hospital, we will know all her diseases. So how do we ensure privacy that is lacking in our public institutions? All of us are using these facilities, but there is a lack of privacy. There is a lack of lapses that needs to be built, and you won't achieve it in 2 months, my dear.
Honorable Ampanda.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Speaker. I'm trying to actually understand from the intention, because when you say they are going to use these public facilities, it either means two things. You are either compelling them or you are encouraging them. a member of parliament or even a minister who just lives at those flats next to Lady Pohamba, and then there's a heart attack or something, if they are compelled, it means this funny card, where is that thing that we got? This thing that we have as a CMAS card. If they are obligated, it means that it will not work when they go to the hospital that is just 100 meters away from them. They must go to Katutura, and they just live next to the hospital. They cannot enter Lady Pohamba. So that's why when I hear these things, it actually basically means that it's a mere slogan. At the practical level, it means absolutely nothing. You cannot in any way tell a person that you live next to you must drive past Venani is your father, because ministers, the government decided use public hospital, pass by a hospital, is about to die because somebody decided. I'm actually even wondering, who is it that is going to tell me that I cannot go to a private day? That's why I'm actually saying maybe there's something that is being discussed that we don't know. Are you compelling people? In other words, you invalidate CMAS from being admitted into a public hospital, or you are encouraging them to go there. Remember, when you're talking about health, this thing is not a bursary. CMAS is not a bursary. Members contribute. They contribute as part of their thing, just like how you contribute to pension. So you cannot be somewhere deciding that, hey, tomorrow you must do this. So that's why for members, I'm not worried about any April thing, because I think it's not something that is practical that can happen. That's one. Number two is that, but we support. If you say, all the members of CMAS, I will be prepared to give a 2,500 or even a 5,000 to contribute to the infrastructure. In Onanjokwe Hospital, they take clothes. They can't even hang clothes. Just a simple thing to hang the clothes and the linen. They go to another region. So we are prepared to support and engage how we can uplift. I think just something, I don't understand, maybe you understand better. Even for us to fight each other over the 1st of April, I can tell you, you think people are going to risk their lives or their family members to die because there's a slogan going, say, use public hospital? We support the initiatives, but practically there's nothing to debate. It's in good intention, we will support those good intentions. But this idea of saying that they are going to be compelled, yeah? So you can't, legally you will not pass it, it will be challenged legally, yes. But we encourage people to use it, and we will support, we will even prepare to contribute financially to the infrastructure of the state to support you for those 24-hour clinics. But let's not fight each other, that thing will not get great anyway. But it's a good intention, or whatever it is that it means.
Yes, Honorable Hangula.
Thank you, Speaker. I think a lot has been expanded on that I wanted to say by my honorable leader, Professor Mpanda, and honorable elder Venani. In principle, Honorable Venani, my apologies, my elder. In principle, Honorable Minister, we agree. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. We want to see this hospital. We have mothers and grandmothers that rely on public service. And you cannot tell us anything about the problem, Honorable Minister. We know. I had to go and buy medication for my mother just last week. We know these things. But what we are worried about is, in as much as you are assuring us, the President, Her Excellency, assured us about free tertiary education. She was standing there in front of us. She asked us to clap. We did that. We have cousins and little brothers that we had to pay for registration. When you attempted to bring in free education, it didn't work. But this is not free education. I cannot go back and wait for my little cousin to register next semester. These are lives that we are talking about. So what we are telling you is that yes, it is a good initiative, but we are not ready for it as a country, like my elder said. It sounds very good on paper, but it's highly unrealistic. The one question that I have with you is that I have a special relationship that I've built with my medical doctor for 10 years. Ever since I was working somewhere else, I was on a different medical aid, and then I continued on SEMAS. What are you going to do with my medical record? What are you going to do with my special relationship with my doctor who knows me inside out? What are we going to do with that? Are we going to take it to Katutura Hospital? What are we going to do with that? So, Honorable Minister, like Honorable Ampanda said, we are ready to support this. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. But please, my request to you is that let us take this thing one step at a time, and let us not compel people into things that we know are unrealistic. I so submit.
Honorable Haikola. Honorable Haikola.
It's not a computer.
Okay.
It was live.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We love the dream, okay? What we just don't appreciate is always, there's always been announcement. This is what we are going to do. This is what we are going to do. In this stage, we do not want announcement. We want reality. We can already, we don't need stakeholder minister to identify the problems that we have currently in our current hospitals. Not at all. The problems are there. Fix the problems. The ministry must first fix the problems. The ministry must first fix the roofs, fix the tiles, fix the tablets, everything. Fix it. The reds, the whatsoever, the giza. Those things must be fixed first. And us, we will then be able to go to the hospital and say, yes, it is now well, we can go there and use these facilities. It's not just these things, no announcement and announcement. So, it's, yes, all of us here, because we are not against, listen here, we are not against, we want our hospital. In fact, matter of fact, two priorities as a government was always prioritize two things, education and health. So we cannot play around with health. We want to actually support this idea, but it's very unrealistic at this moment. My only question I have is that now that we are now compelled to, or are we not compelled, forced or encouraged, is our CMS going to be changed in such a way that are we still going to pay high option 240 and standards 120, or we are just going to, it's just going to remain the same? But we love the idea. It's just that, honorable member, honorable minister, let's first fix what is there. Let's do the basic. I so submit.
Honorable Sumail.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Speaker. I won't be long. Yeah, actually, it's a good dream on the minister's side. But my plea is, if we are dreaming and establishing the visions like Vision 26, 20 what, let us consult each other. Let's engage and share ideas before we come up with announcements and then with a must instructions. What I want to appeal or request is, it honestly, as a person that has experienced, these private doctors are milking us. If your medical aid expired or depleted, then they are not treating you. Then you have to make your own means to treat yourself. But let us improve the infrastructures firstly, improve the ethical behaviors of our staff members, because the minister said rightfully that now we will be on trial for a year. And I was saying then that time we were already dead. Because whilst he's experimenting, we might, like I'm from the hospital now, we might die while we are experimenting. So what I'm saying is, it sounds like a joke, but this dream, let's align it with quality. Then it will be a realistic dream. Certainly, that's my submission.
Yes, Honorable Vizas.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. So if anything is done to compel me to go to the public hospital, I say thank you very much. You will make me reach soon.
because Article 13 is very clear of the Namibian Constitution to privacy. I need to have my privacy. So I don't know, maybe you should, can you read the Constitution yeah, you know. And then, is it supposed to take me to forgo my fundamental human rights to improve the hospital? Chair, listen, it's English, plain one. Now, the other one is this arrangement a trial basis or is it a permanent one? Now, if it's indefinite, I want to know, can I trust the Katima Mlilo Hospital? Because when I travel there for the holiday, can I trust that hospital that I will receive the services that you have promised me here today? You are violating my rights. You want to pay. All right. The medical aid in April 1st have announced that they are going to increase. Why increasing if I am now going to the state hospital? Though this one maybe would have been good if Memesha Fuda could have answered it. And then the last one, the files, though it was already touched, I want to put it in my own words and my own constructed sentence. Will our medical files be transferred from our doctors? Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Shitana. Honorable Shitana.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Vindao, just last week, I was telling the Prime Minister here that doing things from State House without following the rule of law, it's a problem. I put it there to you. Yes. I'm from Okongo. And I live from Okongo town to my village is 65 kilo. From the tire road between Okongo and Kavango, it's 9 kilo deep in the village. Just in January, one of my brother, he was bitten or struck by a black mamba. Then we took him to that clinic at Omauni. 10 o'clock. And that ambulance came at 2:30. Then he dies between Okongo and our village. He couldn't make it. We buried him. When you are talking these things or you are making decisions, promises, don't say you are ready. You are just ready because you are in Windhoek. You are ready because you are in Windhoek. And even Windhoek is not ready. And we must take this country very serious. We must not make it for slogans here. We must take it very serious. Now, they are saying we waited for an ambulance. There is no ambulance that used to come there. It's a normal bakkie. And you have to be put there behind the bakkie with one nurse or the driver who is driving. And you are there alone. No mattress, no nothing. I once used that thing. So the question is, are we being subjected to the rule of law or are we being subjected to the rule of the president at the State House? Even this clinic here at the parliament, last week I went there just to look for a bulb. Or what is that? Yes. No, it's a bulb. Not a benjamin. No, the bulb. The bulb. It's a balm. It's a balm.
Self, man.
Just
Self.
to apply
Yes, yes.
something here. There is nothing here. There is
Yeah.
nothing there. It's only, they are telling no, I must inject it. Why should I get injected when I just need to apply something here? Get serious and fix the problem. I submit.
Yeah.
Honorable Mvula. Honorable Mvula.
Oh, okay. Honorable Speaker, thank you. Much has been said. There are numerous examples of the failure of or in-state health facilities, and including the primary health care mobile clinic that goes or arrives at Tengarashe, where the Minister of Information and Technology comes from. I would personally, seriously like to advise the Minister of Health to really advise the President that the time is not right. We know that in your manifesto, there's an outline of how on the rollout of the universal health scheme over a period of 4 years, but the country is not ready, and one would want to treat this as a national project. And with that, could I, Honorable Minister, of course with the support of the previous speakers, really advise the Minister to indulge His Excellency, or Her Excellency rather, on this issue, especially on the implementation or rollout of this program. And secondly, to really seriously consider putting all this program or project in the domain of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health, so that more input can really be made from the Parliament side. Thank you.
Honorable Kandorodu.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Speaker. Thank you so much, Minister, for your ministerial statement. I just want to highlight something from your speech. Okay.
What?
My contribution is...
Yes, point of order. Honorable Kandorodu, point of order. Yes, Honorable.
Yeah, I want to refer you to 136.
136.
Number 2. The Speaker may, in his or her discretion, allow short questions to be put to the Minister making the statement for the purpose of elucidating it. Now, I have a problem when honorable members of Parliament stands and say their contribution to the statement. Honestly speaking, the time is gone, and they are supposed to ask a question. They are supposed to ask a question to elucidate the statement. Yes, let's go through to that. Thank you. No, but you know,
Yes.
senior.
Honorable members. Yes, honorable members, please proceed. Please ask a question. It's a follow-up question.
Follow-up questions?
Yes, yes.
Have the Minister consulted the industry, such as GIPF, NAMAF, Velema, Kanove? Have the Minister consulted the industries such as GIPF, NAMAF, NAMFISA, and all other stakeholders that are dealing with medical funds. That's my first one. Are you not? But it's a very good slogan. I could it have been round about 2029 so that people cannot vote for certain party because it's very dangerous to vote for them. Migration, are you not observing any migration of civil servants? Because medical aid is not compulsory. We apply through an application form. So I can withdraw my contribution and go to private. I think the floor is mine.
Proceed, honorable member.
We'll answer
Your
you
time
the
is
floor.
your
So
time is
are we not observing that? And is that what we want to encourage? Why are we not giving options by saying, okay, for instance, we are going to develop or to upgrade 2-floor at Central Hospital. So anyone who chooses to go there can go and get that services at Central Hospital. And also the notion of making Windhoek as if the only Alpha and Omega of Namibia is completely wrong. Just imagine me going to Oshiwarongo State Hospital with the recent case that just happened. I think the executive, you are infringing into my human rights.
Now your time is up,
finally,
honorable member.
Finally, you don't have any right to tell me where to be treated. I so submit.
The Honorable Brinkman.
Minister. Honorable Speaker, thank you. I really like the enthusiasm of the executive in this matter. But as my colleagues already said, the implementation is a -0. We see what is happening on the ground every day. As my honorable minister always say, I'm passionate. Yes, I'm passionate because I was there in the corridors of hospitals and clinics and I've seen what is happening. So are we saying, since our senior officials will be joining the queues, we will upgrade the hospitals? Is that what we are telling the normal Namibian out there? That you need our 1 billion or 1 million to upgrade whatever you need to do. It is a big shame. Honestly, I have no words to describe what this is saying. We are talking about the universal health coverage bill that is coming, access for everyone, equality. But when we talk about senior officials attending hospitals, I think the Honorable Minister said something about there will be special arrangements or something, if I'm not mistaken. What are we saying about equality? The same thing that we are fighting is the same thing that we are creating. Already when we talk about public servants going to hospitals, Fridays, Honorable Minister and Honorable Speaker, is already an off day for most of our public servants. So Doctor's Day will also be another one. Thank you.
Yes. Honorable Nashinge.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The challenge we have with the 8th administration is that you are too reactive unnecessarily, and you play politics unnecessarily. Let me finish. Now, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Minister, the reality is worrisome. I just wanted to find out, for example, the Article 21 is very clear, freedom of association and so on. Now, what are you going to, how are you going to go about it? If you are compelling us, you are going to compel us from moving from private sector, compelling us to go to public hospitals, while also CIMAS At the end of the day, it's a contract between me and my employer. At the end of the day, once I sign, it's no longer an administrative issue. The medical aid fund is very clear about that. So how are you going to go around these constitutional issues, you taking our rights away and so on? Some time back, I had kidney stones for 6 years. Every time I went to the state hospital, I was told to drink water. The 7th year is when I got treated. Kidney stones at a private hospital. So those challenges, some of us have had a terrible experience with our own hospital. Yes, we want things to become better, but the approach, and it is not about...
Yeah.
Honorable Speaker,
Honorable members.
can I just finish?
Yes.
Yeah, so Honorable Minister, it's really about excellency.
Honorable members, we can make point of orders, but must we make point of orders when other members are asking questions? Can't we allow the member to just finish asking his question?
Well,
yeah, but no member is heard in silence here, not even the presiding officer. Honorable member, proceed.
Well, Honorable Speaker,
if we want to practice it, let's demonstrate by action.
Well, Honorable Speaker, I'm not a businessman. I'm just a member of Parliament. Yes. Hence the disrespect. Thank you very much. So, Honorable Minister, the challenge here, what we need to address is excellency in the sector, as well as serious investment. Money must go to where it's supposed to go, accountability, and then avoid this exclusivity business that we are trying to do. For example, if we have medical aid and we are going to go to state hospitals, how are we going to be treated? With us with medical aid versus those without medical aid? Are we going to be, and the Honorable Minister, are you going to go with your bodyguards? Lady Pohamba, for example, during the late founding president, you ate up my time. During late founding father, the hospital was limited, there was security there, you can't enter. So are we going to do this the same?
Honorable member,
with this
your time is
arrangement?
up now. Yes. Honorable Mwashindange. Yeah, Honorable member, I think you did ask your questions. Honorable Mwashindange.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The Honorables are encroaching on my time.
Yes, Honorable members, you are encroaching on Honorable Mwashindange's time.
Yes, thank you very much for that protection, Honorable Speaker. And thank you very much, Minister of Health, and those nicknames for that information. I just want to know, Honorable Speaker, as we speak, there are young men and women who are studying medicine and related courses. And those young men and women, some of them are even studying on government money. Most of them their aspiration is to finish their studies, come and operate a successful Namibian-owned hospital, private hospital, to take the load, obviously, from government, and also to equally practice and also assist the private sector. Now, what are we going to do? Because definitely, if you do this, Honorable Minister, one is that the private hospitals and private clinics will be forced to retrench. Why? Because their resources will become constrained. That is for sure. You cannot run away from it. Because if they had 10 clients, you had now compelled 5 of them not to come to them anymore. So what will happen? Their revenues go down. When they go down, they will retrench. Where are you going to employ those people? Already you cannot employ those ones that are in the market out there unemployed.
You're not the minister.
So what are you going to do? Because they will start retrenching. There's no plan. Definitely we will come in with another statement again. The other is a problem. What are we going to do, Honorable Minister, with due respect? Because as far as the executive is concerned, I do not know anybody there who entered now. They've been part of that executive since 1990.
tell me, how many hospitals have you built since 1990? Because you cannot compel government officials and whatsoever, public servants whatsoever, to say they must be forced to go and receive health care somewhere when you failed dismally. Members of the executive. No, I'm not saying you, I'm saying wherever the order came from. They've been part of that executive for the longest of time, since 1990. How many hospitals have they built? Why do they want to compel poor officials to their messed up system that hasn't functioned in 35 years? Why are you doing that?
Honorable member, your time is up now. Honorable members, I always say, you know, and the rules are very clear. Questions are to look for answers. You are querying an issue in order that you can get an answer. You cannot debate an issue. You cannot convince someone that something that they said, a policy that they announced through a ministerial statement is not optimal through asking questions. And what I see is that because of the sensitivity of the matter, we are actually trying to debate the issue through questions. And unfortunately, we are not even going to be successful in putting across whatever point we want to put through, because the question and answers only allows you an opportunity to query an issue and get an answer that you may not agree with. You will only be able to convince the other person to change their position through a discussion, you see? And really, we are today going to end this day with only, the ministerial statement and the questions that we posed at the beginning. Because the minister, in terms of the rules, has how many? 5 minutes. No, ministerial statement, 5 minutes to answer. And now we only have 15 minutes to go. So if we continue 10 minutes of asking questions, I don't think the minister is going to be able to answer all those questions in 5. So I want to appeal to the members, you know, the same way that I have done always. This rule number 85 says time limit, a maximum of a time limit is a cap. It's not a threshold. If it says that you have 3 minutes to ask a question, it does not mean you cannot ask your question in 1 minute. You can answer in 1 minute. You just cannot answer in 4 minutes. So can we have the honorable members who are next ask their questions in 1 minute, failing which we will knock off without the minister answering. You will ask all those questions, and when exactly it is 5:45, the House will rise, because you also are not cooperating with the presiding officer. I will not extend by 1 minute if you are not also cooperating. Yeah, so can we take 1 minute, please, to ask our questions? Honorable Hengari is next.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'll be very brief. As a senior member of the House, for a very long time, French and Greek philosophers struggled with a question, and that question was, can society truly be equal? Can society truly be equal? And I'm sitting here, and of course, I want to put it on record. I support the intention, what this administration intends to do. Of course, those complaints, I think that would be the normal assumption, that those complaints about ambulances not being available and so forth would then have been addressed by shifting those billions to now the public health sector. That is the normal assumption of any logical thinking person. But can society really be equal? And Honorable Minister, I want to find out what will happen to the dependents. And of course, I also saw your reaction when Honorable Kandorodu said, this is by, our membership to CMAS is by application. Are we not then creating an already unequal society, almost like a second phase of this unequal society in an already unequal society, in what we already live in now? Because then automatically, if you're saying it's by application, then indeed an individual is able to withdraw their membership to this and seek private health care. How do we address that? Because on the one hand, you want to divert billions, those billions that we have, that go into the private sector, and you want to divert it, by this statement, you want to divert it now into the public health sector to address those issues that are coming up on the floor. But by doing that, as a consequence and by implication, we are creating a second phase of society. One, members would then be able to withdraw. Two, there's still a question around dependents. What will happen to those dependents for the main member? And three, and one of the most important questions, are we not applying band-aids to a disease? Because it's safe and right to assume that once we put money there, automatically something will happen. But I think all of us by now know what happens usually when we throw money at things and think that they will just be resolved over time. So isn't it best then to get the basics right before we now mandate everybody or compel everybody to use this public health care? Thank you.
Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 MPs on the list. Honorable Nekongo is next. Yeah? I said when it's knock-off time, you would rise.
No, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to thank the Minister for the ministerial statement. I think the challenges that are in the Ministry of Health are known by the SWAPO party-led government. And I think the Minister here is indicating the speed that the 8th administration want to take. And yes, indeed, it cannot be fair. I'm one of those who have abandoned the so-called medical aid many years ago. And I received the treatment from our hospital that we have created ourselves, all of us here, equally as Member of Parliament. And I think the intention that we must all go to the state facility in the status where they are. And when the Minister is mentioning those people in the offices, sometimes we think it's only politicians. There are people that are in the offices that are not doing their work, and that sometimes result into service that is not being delivered. So I want to thank you, Minister. Don't be discouraged. You must fight for our people. No, you are making statement there.
Okay. Yes, honorable members, so long as we know we will have no answers, we will not have answers to our questions if we are going on this way. Yeah.
It's fine. I know they don't want to go to the state hospital, and they don't want to go to the state hospital where our people. And yet, they do not want to talk good things about what the ministry have done. Many of them here that are talking were born in hospital. They were not born in their village. That were built by the SWAPO party government. Yes, it's true. Yes, you can say whatever you want, but I'm just saying. They have been beneficiary of the state. They have been treated. We were all treated at the hospital, but now when you become a member of parliament, you don't want to be treated at the hospital. Yes. So, Comrade Minister.
Okay, Honorable Member, your time is up. Honorable Venani? No, Honorable Lutuhezi? Huh? Is this? I think she's. Didn't you speak already, Honorable Member?
I'm speaking.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the floor. Maybe I should say we are lucky because we have a minister who was a medical doctor last year. You were practicing last year. You came from the private, and then you are now a minister, and I've known you as a hands-on minister. The first thing that you did is to visit the hospitals in the country. You were in Katima Mulilo. Just recently, you were in Ochuarongo, where TB patients, psychiatric patients, these other ailments are in one ward. These have also been observed in Koreas. The situation is prevailing across the whole country. So, maybe for me is an advice. What assessment? Honorable Speaker.
Yes, honorable members, can you, honorable members, just proceed, please? Yeah.
I hear you talking about assessments. There are people who are assessing. I trust your assessment, honorable member. You went there, you saw with your own naked eyes. You even joined the campaign, cleaning campaign at Katutura, where you were wearing an overall. I remember I saw that. That symbolizes that the hospitals are dirty. My only advice to you is, when you build a house, start with the foundation. When you start with a roof, your house is going to fall. Fix the medicine, fix the staff, fix the equipment, fix everything, and then we are going to be with you. We are not attacking you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Thomas, questions, please, honorable members.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Good afternoon. I must greet everybody first. Yes, my question is very short. I understood the initiative. If this initiative is to be implemented according to law, it's going to help us. But I am doubting a little bit because of some
question,
projects.
honorable member.
Yes,
Yes.
some projects were abandoned. I just want to know, Honorable Minister of Health, do you know that there are some clinics who are built 5 years back? Until now, they are not open. They are closed, but security are there, are paid by the government, and these clinics, they are 5 years open, built, but they are there. I think also might be, Honorable Minister, I think tomorrow maybe I must indicate to you which clinic is that. Thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. There are 2 more MPs. If they take 1 minute each, or half a minute, then the minister would have 5 minutes. Honorable Lukato.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Member of Parliament. Honorable Speaker, I'm having 2 questions for you. Yeah, first of all,
no one.
You are the one of the cabinet minister, and within the cabinet minister, there is also members of parliament. How do you engage with the members of parliament when it comes to this important decision, whatsoever,
Yeah.
whether it's a resolution? How do you engage the lawmakers before you come to announce this? That's
Thank
the
you.
first one.
Thank you. Honorable Lukato, that's enough now.
Sorry.
Let's have Honorable Kanguru to ask the...
Okay, second. Yeah, okay. The last one. Let me commend you, Honorable Minister. If the implementation about your program, it will come a reality. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
Yes.
Honorable Kangulu. Now, Honorable Kangulu is the last one. Honorable member, and then I will give them, in fact, okay, Honorable Kanguru, go ahead, and then I'll make
Thank you
it.
very much, Honorable Speaker. I will be very brief. Honorable Minister, I want to take it from the strategic point of view, or otherwise strategic management point of view. What you have presented is very, very, very good. It's a very good initiative. However, as far as strategic management is concerned, I wanted to know, one needed to plan. One needed also to analyze. One needed to ensure that what you are about to deliver is within the principle of the tools of your strategic management. Honorable Minister, a lot have been said here, be in terms of medicine that are not in the hospital.
Yes, can the Honorable member please ask the question?
Be it those clinics that the Bishop have related to. Owongo Clinic is one of them. And I would want you to stop by Owongo Clinic look at it, and you will come and tell this House. I wanted to know, from now, that strategic basis or tools of your implementation, what strengthened you, what given you the strength to come to this particular stage without properly planning and analyzing your planning? And what I wanted eventually to Minister to say is that we are ready to implement this particular move. How can you get there if you are not ready? That's where my point is.
Yes. Honorable Member, thank you very much. Now, Honorable Minister, considering the importance of the matter, I think the Minister should have enough time to answer these questions. And therefore, I rule that the House will rise until tomorrow, and the Minister will be the first one to give a comprehensive answer to the questions.